Jacqueline, good to have you here.
Yes.
So I talked to you a couple weeks ago in a speed networking event, actually, that I hosted, and we connected really fast. You just
hmm
did 23 years, is that right, in the military?
23 years, 8 months, and 14 days.
There you go. 23 years, 8 months, and 14 days. And then you get out and you promptly, not only do you leave your job, you leave your career, you leave your social circle, and then you move across the country to a
Yes.
place where you don't really know anybody. So we kind of bonded
Yes.
on that, I guess, because I moved recently, or I move a lot, and we talked about like identity, and I wanted to kind of have you on here to talk about that. And I know you're feeling a little shy right now, so we'll go slow. But yeah, tell me a little bit about what you're feeling. How's Phoenix been?
Phoenix has been extremely challenging for me. Like you said, my circle, I don't have my friend circle, I don't have my medical circle because I do have health issues. And it's overwhelming because it's like I feel like I don't have anyone to turn to. And I am one of those people that fill everyone else's cup up, and I rarely get my own cup filled up. So it's like me not being able to go over my grandmother's house to help me process the things that I'm going through. It's a challenge. Or even talking to girlfriends, and it's like I've since they're not close to me, like a 30 minutes to a 45-minute drive away from me, I've isolated myself. I've noticed because we used to talk every day. We used to FaceTime all the time, but it's like now, since I'm in this rut where I don't know which way to go, I've shut myself off. I've reached out and got help. I am in a group now, um, but it's still a challenging time for me. So that's what I've been going through in
Yeah, well,
Phoenix.
I empathize. I want to help. So, you know, I've moved so many times and I'm a hyper extrovert. So if I spend more than like 2 days by myself, my mental health collapses onto itself like a dying star. It's so bad. Um, and I've made some really good efforts to fix some of this, but it takes time. But also, I wonder how much you're doing now to like go off and make new friends. Whereas, but like you said, like you're isolating. So how do you get out of that negative momentum?
Um, well, right now, like I said, I reached out. I'm trying to get that help that I need to get out of that negative mindset that I'm in. I do have one coworker that I guess I opened up to her. So, she's been reaching out, checking on me and stuff like that. So it's like telling myself it's okay to let others in to know what's going on with me to get that extra help. It's like that's what I've been trying to do. Slowly but for surely, I've been doing it.
Yeah, do you just need friends? Like, do you just need people to talk to? I mean, I know, I can tell you're somebody who, for me, I can basically go and hang out with anybody for an hour, and I'm like, I feel great. But I can tell just from knowing you a short amount of time, I think you probably need deeper friendships. But like, can we start building those sooner?
That's how I am. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. It just, for me, it does take time for me to let that wall down, to let some people in. When I get like a unique vibe from a person that they only want certain things from me, I'll be cordial with you, but I'm not gonna let you in. Um, I'm that. I call myself like I'm not an introvert. I want to say I am an introvert, but then I'm not. I think I'm just cautious because I've been burned so many times, letting folks in, letting them know some personal things, and it's like they put it out there for others to know, but it's not meant for others to know if I confide it in you.
Well, yeah, I'm not that way. but I understand that people are different ways, you know? But I will say, you know, every time I've moved, it's like it takes like a year to start making those connections. So for, well, not that I have any advice to give, but I will say this. There is like a universality to your story. Like I know I know a lot of people are going through this similar thing where I see it in Austin every day. Every day in Austin there's a fascinating phenomenon. It's not the same, but I do want to find like some commonality. In Austin, everybody here is kind of new. They're all here between the last 2 years, 5 years, and they all say to me the same thing with a straight face, and they say it to my face. They say, "My number one thing is community. I'm super big on community. I want to have a big community, and I currently have no friends, and I stay inside all the time." And I look at this and I'm like, man, we have this sort of phenomenon where people are they are stuck indoors on this thing, isolating, wanting to go out and be social, and then don't. And anyway, so I see this all the time, and then I hear your story, and I'm like, man, this is not the same, right? But similar. And I empathize, and I want to help so many people fix this.
So I know what it is with me. So you remind me of my friend Allie. She's the outgoing person. I'm outgoing too, but it's like, you know how you just need that extra pull to pull you in and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna be doing. And it's like I don't have that. I don't have an individual like that to help me have that extra push to get out there and be like, okay, I know I can do that, but
yeah, but you got to just meet him.
yeah.
So I've learned my place in the world, kind of like my calling, my purpose in a lot of ways is like my role I'm a hyper extrovert. My role with people is I go friendship first. So I'm the person that like you, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to the bar on Saturday night. I'm going to go at 7 p.m. I'm going to be at this bar. I'm going to be there 100%. And I'm going to be there for 4 hours. And then I'm going to tell everybody, and you can come at any time between those 4 hours and talk to me about whatever you want. And I'll be there and I'll be drinking. And if you come in later in the night, I'm going to be sloppy. But I'll be there and I'll be your friend and I'll listen to whatever you have to say and we can chit chat. And as many or as few people can show up as they want. And I'm just built that way to kind of go friendship first. But I'm not that special. So I guess the question is like, how do we find these people in Phoenix?
Oh man. Like I tried it at the gym. Okay, I am a CrossFit person. I was a CrossFit person when I was in one sport.
CrossFit? You guys love community.
Yes, but it's like the CrossFit here, oh my goodness. You know, it's
what? Oh my god, I don't know. Tell me. I don't know.
Well, it's steeper. It's steeper in your pockets than in Missouri compared to here now.
Dude, the gyms here in Austin, these big cities, they're all $250 a month. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
See,
I go to a gym. I go to this
ratty. $65.
That's what a gym should cost.
Yes.
I go to a ratty dungeon, sort of like you need to get your tetanus shot, tight gym up the street for $50 a month. There's just squat racks and deadlift platforms. That's all there is. That's all I need. Mm-hmm. CrossFit, I'm like, you guys don't even have that much equipment. You just have a room. What are you guys doing for $200 a month? But I will say, dude, it might be a good investment. Like, for what you need right now, it might be like, look, suck it up, pay the money, and go find some friends. Go find, like, the people you need, and then you can, maybe back off it later. But I would think about that like an investment. Right now, like, I can tell you need – I don't want to say what you need, but from what you've told me, I'm like, dude, if you need people –
I do. I need people. I'm okay with it, for someone to tell me that, but I already know it. It's just – sometimes it's just – my state of mind right now, I am a little fragile, but hey, I'm gonna get over it. I gotta process and move forward.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not generally the person you call when you're like, I'm in a fragile state. I'm like, oof, I'm sorry. Alex is not the number one guy for this.
It's okay.
I'm very, yeah. Well, I just don't like handling. I'm just not good at it. But that being said, I am here to serve. I have something else I want to tell you about. This is something that's like racking my brain lately. It's been very, very helpful to me, right? But I made this very simple mental health checklist. It's short, it's sweet, it's almost so simple and so small that you're just like, this is stupid. But I use it every single day now. And I want to tell it to you because what I find is, again, because I'm an extrovert, when I'm not around people, my mental health starts circling the drain very quickly. And so I pull out this list and it has a 100% effectiveness so far. So if I'm not having a good mood, my fiance too, if she's not having a good mood, we go through this list. Gym. If I don't go to the gym and I'm in a bad mood, I know the solution. It's go to the gym. Socialize. If I don't talk to somebody, sometimes I just need to talk to them on Zoom. But if I don't talk to somebody, I am struggling. Outside. You know how many times I've been like in a bad mood and I'm like, dude, I haven't left the house all day. Of course I'm in a bad mood. That's toxic. We're not designed for that, you know?
Yeah.
Protein. If I'm eating sugar or just junk, I feel bad. So protein, water. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm addicted to these high caffeine energy drinks. I love them. I call them poison. But if you don't drink water, man,
yeah.
yeah, right. But if you don't drink water, I feel like shit. So, gym, socialize, outside, protein, water, and shit talk, because I gotta get my banter in. But anyways, 5 universal things, 1 specific to Alex thing. I do those 6 things. If I do those 6 things, there's like a 99.9% certainty that my day, no matter how bad it is, will be on top of the world. What do you think about that?
That's good. That's your grounding skills that you tweaked for yourself. I mean, because I do make sure I do get out, get some vitamin D, get that, I don't know, that feeling of being outdoors. It's that I guess it's the social interaction that I really, really need.
I have good news for you. Do you know that there's 2 people, both of who I know, that are in the war room that live in Phoenix?
Dustin?
Dustin?
And he's in Tucson. Dustin is in Tucson, and what's his name? He's in Tucson.
Eric.
Eric. No, what is his name? Last name is Rufus? Dave. You talking about Dave?
Oh, I don't know him. No, I know a guy named Eric Browning, buddy of mine. He's in the war room, and he's in Rafis, Marana, Arizona, and he's in but no, Eric Browning is in Phoenix. Anyways, look, it sounds to me, I don't mean to assume, but it sounds to me like you probably need girlfriends.
Yes.
more than guy friends. But here's what I'm going to do. 1, I have an unbelievably big network. So what I can do is I can kind of go through my Rolodex, find some people in Phoenix, and I'll introduce you to them. And I don't know if I can't imagine it would hurt. I don't know if it'll solve all your problems, but maybe getting out there and getting a few people, and that might help. The other thing I would say, and this is, I know it's hard to always put yourself out there, but sometimes it sounds so simple too, but when I go to the internet or I go to people and I ask them for something very specific, people are very, very, very apt to help. If you say, hey, I'm in Phoenix, who's in Phoenix? People are like, ugh, I'm in Phoenix, but who are you? What do I want to do with you? It's too broad. But if you're like, hey, I just moved to Phoenix, I'm prior military, I'm a business owner, right? And I'm looking for long-term, confidential girlfriends. Anybody interested? You'd be surprised how effective that will be. Now I know it's vulnerable to say that,
yes.
But it's also there's kind of no risk. Would you be interested in something like that? You think that'd be useful?
It will be useful. It'll be scary, but it'll be useful.
Dude, everything good is scary.
Yeah, it is. Really scary.
How far away are you from Tucson?
2 hours.
Okay. I
I'm
got some other
surprised.
friends out there in Tucson. I don't know what that means.
Surprise, Arizona. It's like, put it like this: I'm 10 minutes away from base. 10 minutes from Luke.
Bro, I've never been there. I don't know.
Really? Didn't you used to
I
live
lived
here?
in I lived in Prescott.
Okay, and that's like an hour and a half from here.
That's north, right? That's a ways north.
Yeah, my son go up there and he does his little. He's in the Subaru Club,
Uh-huh.
the WRX little
Yeah, yeah.
kids.
Let me ask another question. Have you found anything that works that's helped? Like, have you learned anything that you could share along the way so far?
What, being here in Arizona, my transition.
Yeah. Transitioning out of the military, transitioning to a new state.
Oh, well, I have to say, when you like being PCS here, I didn't figure it out until after the fact because I lost some of my stuff. And it didn't dawn on me until my claim and stuff was over. They didn't, this is my transition out. Um, the stickers, you know how they put stickers, they number all your items on your stuff. No one told me that it would be a good idea is to keep all my numbers because I lost some of my belongings in regards to that. It's just like little certain things that I should have been informed when I left. I didn't. Like my 214, you got to make sure you use that 214 for a lot of things to get here. It's I've learned that Arizona, it may be a struggle for me adjusting at the moment, but this is a veteran friendly state. I think,
Arizona's
which is,
Cowboys. People don't know that. Arizona's Cowboys.
man, I tell
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
and you're right. Where it's like getting out. Like before I got into this, because I've been here for a minute, and it's like up and down for me. But seeing the creation that's out here, the landscapes to go hiking and stuff is just. And I need to get back out there doing that. So that's my thing. I know to help me get back in a good space, I need to get around people that will go hiking with me. Don't have an issue to go explore out here because it's so pretty out here. Man, how can you not want to see God's creation?
yeah.
So I know I probably didn't really answer the question, but I think I
No, you
did.
did. No, it's so funny. So I have a similar feeling. I live in Texas now. It's not the same, but I've lived in Arizona. I've lived in Vegas. Something about the landscape in the Southwest is it's like it's this weird feeling. I don't know that everybody feels it, but like I am a desert person. I'm like 110 degrees and sunshine, like and mountains and desert. Like I'm like a lizard. I love it. I'm like this is great. I don't like anywhere else. I really like the desert. But some feeling about that when I get out there. Oh, did I lose you? Some feeling I get when I get out there. I look at the open landscapes and I feel opportunity. I'm like, look at all this. There's so much to do. There's so much land. There's so much to build. There's so much. There's so much room for activities. It's something about. It makes me feel so very fulfilled. It makes me feel very optimistic.
Yes, it's just so refreshing out here. It's like, yes, the weather it gets hot, it get like stupid hot out here, but the view is like it's so breathtaking. I will never get tired of this view. It reminds me of Hawaii. It's like seeing the mountains and stuff out there and going hiking there, and then here is like, oh God, look at this, just amazing. So
Dude, I
yeah,
love it out there. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Um,
especially in Sedona.
oh yeah, Sedona's sick. Yeah, Sedona's sick. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, so I'm gonna ask you one more hard question, and then I'll ask you some easy questions. Identity. You go from, I'm military. I have this job. I live in, my this town that I really like. And now you kind of don't get to claim those things, right? You kind of are like you kind of have to describe yourself in some new way that you're not comfortable at. At least that's how I feel about some of these things. Have you felt any of that?
Yes. I am in a state of refinding myself on my purpose. It's like right now I don't know what my purpose is. Being in the military, you know exactly what you're there for. And now that I'm out, it's like I feel clueless. um, it's a rough one for me. But yeah, I'm struggling with finding myself right now.
Yeah. I don't mean to,
It's okay.
yeah, I don't mean to say it to be negative. I think it's it's a useful thing to talk about because other people struggle with it too and don't say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a woman I met on a walk a few weeks ago, and we had a similar conversation. And she goes, "I just moved here or a few years ago, I moved here from New York City." And she goes, "When I left New York City, I lost something that I didn't realize would be so important to me. Is that I liked calling myself a New Yorker." And she goes, "That simple, small little thing that you might not think about." She goes, "But it comes with so much social context." She's like, I was proud of being a New Yorker because one, you get this reaction from other people. New York City is cool. New York City is hard to live in. So you're like, oh, that person does that cool thing. They know it's hard. It's expensive. You got to be scrappy. The city is busy, right? And so you get all this social context that comes with it. And then she's like, now I'm just an Austinite. I'm just an Austin person. And she's like, I struggle with that, even still. And being former military, I know a lot of folks that we know go through this, especially when they do 20 years. Our friend Adam Whitney, I don't know if you know Adam that well, but he just retired from the Marines. I cannot stop giving him a hard time about it. But, he did 20 years in the Marines. And now, as I let him know, I'm like, he's a civilian just like me, no rank.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough. It's tough.
It really is. It really is. And I can identify with it where being a New Yorker, for me, being a Missourian. But like being here, everybody's like, okay, you're from the South. I'm like, no, I'm from Missouri. I may have a little twain of a South, but I was born and raised in the Lou. So it's like, it's hard repping the Lou here in Arizona.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Well, it's tough because you just have when you have this pride about something, and then it's just like, it's different now. And I mean, I'm sure you'll solve it. I know you'll solve it. It's just, I don't know. I'm grateful for you sharing because I know that this happens to a lot of people. Or God forbid, worse, they never get something that they get to be proud of to claim as their identity. That's probably worse. But I'm doing it too now. I did have this one where I lived in Maui, and now I tell people, they're like, well, where'd you come from? I came from Maui. And then they're like, oh, Maui's better. Why are you here? And I'm like, dude, it's not for me. But my identity was never wrapped in Maui. So not the same thing, but I just find it to be interesting, that phenomenon about like you said, finding oneself, but then also, having to use that to talk to other people about like, who am I? When you tell somebody else, all of those weird feelings bubble up to the surface.
So what made you move from Hawaii to where you're at now? Texas?
Texas. I love it here. I moved to Maui for a very specific project, and I lived there for 14, 15 months. And when that project was both completed and I had hired people to take care of everything, so like they didn't really super need me. And I'm really good at taking something that doesn't exist and creating something out of nothing. I'm super good at that, especially complicated projects, which makes me expensive. So I'm like, look, this person over here can run it cheaper than you can. They couldn't build it, but they can run it cheaper than I am. So I was done. I handed it off, and I didn't particularly like living on the island. That was small,
Yeah,
slow,
you can get around
isolated.
it for what, 4 hours?
Yeah, it's just, people say all the time it's paradise, but I'm not dead, so I don't want to go to paradise.
Yeah,
I want to live. I want to, I got a lot of hustle left in me.
it's good. You're young too.
I'm so young. I bet you I'm older than you think though, because I look very good for my age.
Yeah, a lot
How
of
old do you
people
think I
say
am?
that about me too. You're probably like in your
Yeah.
early 40s, late 30s.
Yeah, you're right. I'm 40.
You're a baby.
I'm a baby. I tell people all the time, I'm gonna live to 120. So,
Yeah.
and I was basically an idiot until I was 30. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm 10. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good for 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Jacqueline, that's all I wanted to talk to you about. I'm very grateful for your time.
Yep. I
What do you
appreciate it. Thank you for helping me get out this box that I'm in right now.
Yeah, outside and socialize. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send some text messages, some Facebook messages, some emails, and you're going to hear from some of my friends that live in Phoenix, and I'm going to try to connect you with some folks. I want you to try to be enthusiastic about meeting some new people. I know that's going to be like maybe uncomfortable, but I want you to try for me. And then I don't know. I mean, I'll see you in the war room. So I know you'll solve all this.
Yeah.
It's just I'm very grateful that you come on here and say these things because other people feel them, and some people don't have it. I mean, I got to tell you, your situation's tough, right? It's tougher than most because you had such these big commitments, these big, long, lifelong, like,
Hmm.
things that you moved all at once. It's not easy. So I'm very grateful you come on here and tell me about it. Yeah,
Thank you for listening. And I
of
think
course.
that's my biggest thing. It's like finding the perfect energy. And I can't believe you're going to put this out there, but um, a good energy that kind of matches mine, even though I have my walls up, but I don't know. It's something about your energy that's good that's allowed me to open up because it's like doing our speed meet. That was like, man. I've been, on call. I was on calls, doing Zooms, had my cameras off, didn't want to put on my mic, didn't want to speak up, and it's like after that day, it's like I've been voicing myself that I wasn't doing before because I'm like, okay, am I gonna say something? What are they gonna say? What are they gonna think? It's like, because it's like they seem like they have so much more knowledge than me, which they do when it comes to the real estate. I've just been my own personal property manager for my property, and it's like it's been over my head because that's not my realm, but I know I'll get there eventually. It's just gonna take some time.
You will get there. You will get there fast by hanging out with people who are more like experienced than you. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Life's weird. Our perceptions of things is often skewed. You look at other people and you're like, everybody's doing better than me. And I'm like, no, they're not. Either, the war room, you got a really good group of people there, so it's skewed. If you go on the internet, everybody looks like they know what they're doing, but I guarantee you 99% of them are full of shit. They're just lying. So, and then even then it's like, okay, that's still the people who are on the internet is only 1% like of the population. The internet's not that many people. It's like it's a few really loud people. Most people don't share anything. Most people don't have any houses at all. So like where you fit in your like social comparison game is, it's important to remember objectivity, not just like you're like, I want to get there and that's who I hang out with and I'm not there, so I'm low on the totem pole. And I'm like, no, you're just ambitious and that's okay, but don't let it beat you up, let it fuel you.
Hmm. Gotcha.
All right. You're great, dude. You're great. All right, I'm gonna end this. Thank you so much. Where can people find you? Do you have a website? Do you have a blog? Do you have a podcast? I know you don't have a podcast. Do you have
No, I
a?
don't have any of that.
How can somebody who listens to this and says, "Oh, I want to send this girl an email. I live in Phoenix, or I have a friend in Phoenix that she might like, how can somebody get a hold of you?
I do have an IG page, but it's private. Other than that, or
Ugh,
my email,
what's your email?
JP underscore AF99 at Yahoo.
I'll link it. I'll link it. I want to connect you with people, man. I don't want to keep you in your box. I want to make that
I
box real big.
mean, I guess I can open up my IG. What is my IG? That's sad. I don't even know what. It's Jack Payne. It's JAC underscore PAIN.
We'll link it.
And then I am on Facebook.
We'll link it.
Not
We'll link
really
it. We'll
though.
link it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. Hey, you're great. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for you.
Thank you.